from a Kansas City perspective, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this is incredible, actually. I now have 5 picks over the next 2 years. I didn't have to pay an aging wide receiver $30 million a year for the next 4 years. And I still have Patrick Mahomes. I still have Travis Kelce. We can still make some noise. Because that group was not going to be able to stay together forever.
No. I don't know if we expected them to break up this soon after winning a Super Bowl, but with the amount of money that each of them was going to be demanding, we knew it wasn't going to stay together. And now you have draft capital to try and
extend the window.
You know, we saw how bad they were when they didn't have an offensive line to help. So they can certainly use some draft on that. Like you said, also can use a couple of these picks to move up and maybe make sure they get the wide receiver, depending on how, you know, they get to play that one by ear a little bit and see how the receivers are coming off the board, because, you know, theirs might just fall to them anyway at the end of the draft and they get to keep all their draft capital. But if they see that all of a sudden 2 teams have chosen wide receivers already, now and they're at pick 13 or 14, it's like, oh, well, maybe we better make a trade right now and get to 15, make sure we get our guy.
Exactly. Now, I think the question that might weigh on all of our minds, right? Does this make them contenders in the AFC?
The Dolphins.
One player. Yes, the Dolphins. One player making this big of a splash.
It's not one player.
I understand the free
listed all the moves, all the moves that the Dolphins have made make it so that they better be. But you've still got to go against Buffalo, Cincinnati, who just represented the AFC in the Super Bowl, Tennessee, the entire AFC West. We don't know how the AFC West is going to stack out. The Raiders made a bunch of moves. They're trying to make a move up. The Chargers made a bunch of moves on defense. You already liked their offense. They're trying to make that move up. Denver got their man in Russell Wilson. They're trying to make that move up. And we know what the Chiefs have been, you know, since Patrick Mahomes became the starter. So you got 4 teams right there. You know what Buffalo's been. We see what Tennessee's been when everyone's healthy. Most importantly, King Henry. Don't really know what else to speak of in the AFC South. You know, maybe Indianapolis. You know, we'll see what happens there. You know, they got a great running game, and you've got a quarterback now that has, look, man's won an MVP. Yeah, he's not the same quarterback he was 5 years ago, but he hasn't hit that cliff yet. And if your offensive line stays healthy and you keep, you know, they lost some of their O-line throughout this offseason, but if they can piecemeal it back together to be one of the top 10 offensive lines in football, Matt Ryan is dangerous. He can still be very dangerous if he has some weapons, and he's got a great running game. So Miami, great moves, but you've got a gauntlet to go through in the AFC.